Peace, my family, and we're back to all those coming out in a good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all that good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good now mind. How y'all feeling? I hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher nature, family, your higher self, and most definitely cleansing the lows. Alright, now, I came on here today to express how y'all feeling on this good journey with them. You know, it would help a lot, if I must ask. If you guys want me to speak on something that, if you're listening, right, that you can always, ask the question, and, or let me know what you want me to speak on next, or if you have questions, right, that will definitely help, for the ones that may have questions or want me to speak on other things. But yeah, I just thought I'd say that to y'all, because lately, people just been listening with no questions, and that's okay too, if y'all just don't have none, alright? Alright, so, excuse me, anywho, alright, so, back to what I was saying. I've just been thinking about the fact of when you want to move in ways of the Most High, it's all about slowing it down, right? Slowing your life down, taking your time to look around you, right? Like literally looking around you, seeing what's truly happening around you in your life, looking at every aspect of your life and taking note. Because it's very important that you begin to take note, right? Because as you can see, that if you're getting into whatever, holy scripture that you choose, ancient text, right? It always speaks on examining yourself and how you're moving, right? And getting to know, our Creator, right? One moment. All right, now, it's very important because you'll begin to learn how, it works, right? With how you're moving in His ways and what He has commanded you to do. Which means that if it's a commandment that is, really not so much of a choice. it's a commandment, right? And it's laws, right? And just as much as we have laws here on this planet, we have laws in the heavens as well. And it's very important that we begin to abide by, the laws and the rules of these planes of existence. And people are running around here, wondering why their life is not quite going the way that they would want it to, right? Because they have lost their ways and leading themselves astray, been there, moving towards self-destruction because they're not following in the Most High's ways. Not realizing that some people may not even know, right? Because they're into the world, into it. They're in there. And when you're in there, sometimes you get blinded and you really can't see clearly until you step out of it. Get a bird's eye view of your life, the world, and what you got going on internally, right? You can no longer on this journey, this is about really getting to know the real you, right? So you can no longer run from yourself. All the things that you experience in life, whether good, bad, the straight, ugly, traumatic, and so much pain and suffering. All of it, whether you know it or not, was a part of your experience and is a part of your growth and development. Because once you begin to see life when certain things are truly outside of your control, that's a part of life. And sometimes we can't accept that because it hurts too much, right? At the same time, we still do exist. And it's something to learn from it, right? It's something to really see that you really can't, attach yourself when you really think about it. And this is what I learned. You really can't attach yourself to things, in this world, people, places, and things, because you never know when, things don't quite go the way you thought, things would go. So what's the point of, attaching to those things? They're all going to transcend and fade away, right? You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, that's why we were warned about, the desires of this world and staying clear away from it. Meaning that we not allow that to govern our state of mind and well-being. Because when you realize that you really can't hold on to anything, right? And I know along my journey, it always taught me that, because in my life I moved around a lot, I met a lot of different people, right? And it seems like along my path, this is just my experience, and everybody's experiences are different, right? You begin to see that, every time when I got comfortable, I got cool where I'm at type of thing, that's when something shifted in my life, where either we end up moving away from the particular place at that time. And at the time I was mad, I was feeling some type of way, because it's like every time when I felt like, I was okay, or I was alright, that's when, I would move, and I would always wonder why. And it taught me that, holding on to things and getting outside of your comfort zone is really what it is. Not holding on to things, because life is all about change, and it's constant change in life. And once you begin to see how that is, and how much things really change in your life, as far as everything from when you are an infant on into adolescence and adulthood, you have made a lot of traumatic changes to, the divine being that you truly are. And whether you know it or not, right? Because some people don't even know, who they are and what they are. And that's what we're here to do. That's why you're here on this planet. You're here to learn. Remember who you are. And it's very important that, it's okay to, get outside of your comfort zone, because that's truly where you can really fly. It's gonna be uncomfortable because it's stretching you, it's expanding you, and getting you in a place where, you realize that you didn't really need it in the first place, not so much at all. Realizing that all you need in this life is the Most High, right? That's it. And the Most High is inside of you. So at the end of the day, that's all you need. And it's great to have, again, people, places, and things, people in your corner sometimes, and, those things that you like, those places you feel like because you went there, that's a form of success. So I've been here, it's a beautiful place to venture off into the planet and see other things, and that definitely helps you grow and develop, right? Remember, wherever you go, you're always the same person, right? Wherever you go, wherever you are. And remember, if you don't even go anywhere, doesn't make you any different, right? You're all still the same person, right? And just as much as you are in different places, you still have those same things happening in your life, regardless, wherever you go, wherever you feel like you want to go and take a relaxation break and, just get out of the environment sometimes. And let me just say, sometimes that's needed, depending on the type of person that you are. Changing of environments are needed, and seeing how other people live personally are needed, and the way people move and live life, sometimes that's needed for people to have a wake-up call, right, with their own lives, right? And it's very important that we begin to, take heed to our own journey in life, right? Realizing that no matter where you go, you're always who you are. And at the end of the day, to a certain extent, it don't really matter, right? Because again, everybody, has a life to experience for themselves. And it's beautiful to, see things in life. Go see it for yourself. Not just, reading a book, but actually going to look at those things for yourself. That's needed, right? That's a part of your journey when you begin to, see it and touch it and see it for yourself. It creates that reality. But it's something about when you see it, sometimes you don't have to go there to see it sometimes. It's like in your inner being, it's like you already know. Now, there's certain places on this planet where you know that you would love to go see, for your growth and development, right? What I'm speaking on is just people going to places for relaxation and just chilling type of thing, and feeling like because they did, their life is, different because of it, right? And sometimes, yeah, it can be different because of it. But what I mean is, wherever you are, that's where you're at. Wherever you are, that's where you're at. And it don't make you no different. If you understand what I'm saying. Do you? Wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Look around you. If it's meant for you to go to those different places and for your growth and development, then you will. And sometimes it's about creating that experience too for ones that want to have that, right? You want to go somewhere and do some things, then go do it. Create a plan to execute and do what you gotta do, right? That's what it's about. You feel like that's something you need to see. Some people do have bucket lists. I want to go here, there, and there. And that's beautiful, right? Just to see it for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. That's so beautiful. That's beautiful. At the end of the day, though, we have to understand that we have a lifetime and a journey to live. And one moment. Alright, now, like I said, distractions are real. Anywho, so my point of all is, you must understand that your life experience is something that you can only experience. And wherever you are is something to learn in that particular experience. You may feel like nothing, I can learn right now nothing is truly happening that I need to learn right now. And whether you know it or not, it is. How you deal with people, how your response to things around you, how you carry yourself, what's your character like, are you honest, are you real, are you being true to who you are you being yourself, do you care, do you help others, do you help the homeless, do you help anyone in need that comes on your path? Do you try to help? Are you bringing that positive energy? Do you give back? Are you happy in life? Because family, you don't get happiness from external things. So when people sit there and say, oh, I'm not happy, it's because internally they have not created the peace. And the only way you create that peace is moving in the ways of the Most High, because that is the ultimate peace right there. And that's where you begin to feel the divine love inside you when you're moving in that. So that right there is where the true happiness really begins, when you begin to get back in alignment. And when you follow in His ways to the best of your ability and doing what you know you need to be doing, and not just learning the right knowledge, right, and not applying it to your life, and not working on your bad habits, and working on yourself and your personality and character that is definitely room for improvement. And it's very important that people begin to be real with themselves. One moment. Question. Can you sit with yourself? Like literally sit with yourself for a few days. Like just you and yourself. Or even just a day. Because I know we gotta work, right? So, can you sit with yourself, dedicate some time to yourself for a day, and just be with yourself? Can you do that? And begin to see everything around you. Begin to hear your own thoughts. So begin to see how you've been moving, and see what's been causing the issues in your life, because we all have them. Whatever that might be, it's most definitely everybody is their own worst enemy. So you got to look at yourself first and how you've been moving, and what have you been allowing to happen in your life. Because again, you have the power to govern your internal condition and what you allow in your energy, right? in your sanctuary, in your sacred place, right? So it's very important that we begin to see this, that is deeper than, oh yeah, I just have these people, places, and things around me, oh, because of whatever that might be, right? We have to learn that the journey is going to require you to go into solitude a lot. After a while, you're not going to want to be, around a lot of people like that. This is just my experience. And doing a lot of things, that's not, healthy for your well-being. And when you have built, and risen your energy and frequency up, at some point it's going to get to a point where you cool by yourself. And that's a beautiful place to be, because it's like, with or without things, people, places, and things in your life, you're good, because all you need is the Most High. That's it. And that is your peace. That is the divine love, right? That is everything that you need and more, right? And that's what it's going to take when you're on this journey, realizing that so much that we cling on to, so much that we attach ourselves to, thinking that we need, validation, thinking that we need, any of it to feel good about ourselves. One moment. And if you think about it, are you there? Because that's going to require you to begin to realize that your friends, is the one appointed omniscient Jesus, Joshua, that means Horus, and your galactical family, your spiritual family, and of course the Most High, is all that you need, right? And when you begin to see who is in your life for your highest good, when you begin to see that you really don't need none of it at all, right? Don't need it. Because, again, everybody has to live their path out for themselves, and everybody is on different levels of it. And you have to live out your path regardless. And you cannot hold yourself back because people, A, may not understand, B, may never understand, and C, we're on two different paths. And it's all love. You release with love, knowing that you love them, right? But you realize that, the Most High is calling you to a place, and you have somewhere to be. You have a destiny. You have a destination. And it's ongoing. It's ongoing. So we're not letting, nobody stop us from getting where, the Most High wants us to be. And it can come into many, different things in your life. You personally could be stopping your own self for the love that you have, or feeling like you can't be alone. You always got to be around a crowd of people to feel good, or feel, like you need these people. That's something you really have to sit down and really check yourself and take a look at yourself and why you feel the way you do. And when you figure that out, why you feel this way, then it's time to correct it and say, nah, start detaching. I'm going to spend time with myself and the Most High. I'm going to spend time getting to know me and who I am in the eyes of the Most High. And that's pleasing, because when you begin to see that this is the type of marriage you want to have, right? When you begin to become married, you know, to the King of the Most High, you begin to see that this is what life's about. That's how you connect back. That's how you get back in alignment. And when it's a lot of friction and it's a lot of noise and people do not understand, right? You have people living and moving on different paths. That's a sign within itself and a red flag to let you know it's time to move away from these people. Kind of eliminate certain people out your life. Love from a distance, right? But realizing that we on two different pages, and life is going to teach. Life has to teach everybody. And once you begin to see that there's like friction there, that's why you have to let people go and release with love, and allow them to grow on their own, and let them see things for themselves. Or they may never, but at least, you are allowing people to do them and not feel that they can't be themselves around you. And that's a, red flag within itself too. When you're around people and you feel like you can't be yourself. When people got the, eyebrow up and looking at you like, wait, what, and all this, that's a sign within itself too. And you feel the energy, you do, because most of the time we're intuitive, we feel the energy, right? And if you can't be yourself around, that's a red flag too, because there should be no judgment zone, right? Everybody go through stuff, everybody been through stuff, everybody had their experiences, everybody been on the lowest of the low, whether you realize or not that you have many experiences, like you had them, you just haven't really went back in your life and really saw what that was. Whether you were on the good or the bad side of it, the ugly side of it, everybody has a different side that they were on at that time, and everybody didn't affected someone in their life, whether they know it or not. And it's about asking for forgiveness, forgiving yourself, repenting, and forgiving others, and releasing with love at the end of the day, because you don't even know the words you say have power and also can affect others. And around this journey, you're going to learn that, with that being said, that you cannot let people have that much power over you when it comes to their words, right? Just because they're speaking them to you, right? You have to build up your strength enough to be like, nah, that ain't me. That's definitely them, right? Because if they're speaking it to you, it's coming out of them. And that's all them. Got nothing to do with you. Just because someone calls you a horse, does that mean you're a horse? Just saying. Who gives a, We gotta get there. Where people words, flow like freaking water. Out of here. I'm just saying. Because that's how you build your strength up too. Realizing that the Most High's thoughts of you and who you are is all that matters. The Most High says you good, then you good. And that's all that matters. And most of the time people be out here projecting, be hating for no reason, and wondering why they unhappy with their own life, and wondering why they ain't happy in the inside. They may think that they happy with their life, but if you out here sending out negative energy to others, you most definitely ain't happy internally with yourself. And that's something that you have to examine within, because the question is, why you that way? And if it's because, the different things that you've been through in life and dealing with people, then that's definitely something to take the time to heal. and begin to change. If you want to feel that peace and love from within, something you got to change within yourself. Spreading love, rather, which is much needed, right? You know, apologizing, you know, when you wrong, admitting your wrongs, you know. All of these things is vibrations of love. And that's what we got to learn how to move in. One moment. Admitting when you're wrong. Realizing that you don't know it all. Realize that we know nothing compared to the balanced universe is. No judgment zone. That's when you begin to create, a place where people can truly be authentic with themselves. Because at the end of the day, who are you to judge, right? And all it is the only one who judges is the Most High. And you can definitely see, how people are moving out here by how they move in life. And you gotta not be afraid of being true to who you are and being yourself. That's a part of the journey. Whether people shunning for it or make you feel like, you're not accepted, right? Because you're not supposed to be. Congratulations. Oh yeah, congratulations. That's a good sign. When you begin to see that the people and the things in this world don't accept certain things, that's a good sign. That means you being true to yourself, right? Because most of the time, it's very few that you're going to come across that are truly authentic with themselves and don't judge, right? We out here, right? But in your immediate reality, you may not experience that like that. Sometimes people do feel like it's so hard to really be their whole self, right? And it's sad, but at the end of the day, that's just something to challenge you with, regardless. Yeah. Yeah. Regardless. I want to be myself. And that's where your power lies. Like, wherever you go, you're going to be who you are. I don't care if you got your eyebrow up. I don't care if you're whispering, chatting and all that. You know how people do. Because they don't know how to handle it. Because they not truly them. They ain't never seen nothing like it. Oh, yeah. Because you are in tune with yourself and the Most High. And when you begin to carry that type of energy around you, you begin to treat yourself, your ancestors begin to round around you, right? Your descendants, yeah. They begin to be cheering for you, they got your back. Because you know how much they fought for us? But let's just be for real. Everything that we've been through, what? Yeah. It's real out here. And when you begin to move on that, in that love frequency, right? That's how you begin to move to higher heights. And you begin to experience that love from within. And you begin to attract the people that you're supposed to. The right people begin to come around you when that happens, right? But remember, when that does happen, right, you also got to remember you got to stay true to yourself. Don't be out here getting the big head, right? Because, again, this is all a part of the test. And all you here to do is be yourself. All you here to do is be about your purpose, about our Father's work, you know. All you here to do is fulfill your destiny. And, you know, it's cool that you got people that may, you know, like your vibe, who you are, you know, that's beautiful. And we need more people out here sending that type of love, like genuine type of love, realizing we are all one and we all can get it just like that. We all can get in alignment. We all can move as one because we are one. This is not an individual type of thing either. We are all one mind. This is not an individual type of thing. We are all one. And that's why we need more people to awaken to who they truly are, or continue to be curious to really want to know, right? And get the right knowledge for themselves so they can also begin to get in alignment and begin to carry that frequency, that love frequency as well. So we can begin to turn the planet green again, once again. So, you know, it's beautiful times to be in these days and times. We all got some work to do, though. More and more we begin to tell the truth, share our experiences, be true to who we are, stand up for the Most High, stand up for our Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Once we begin to honor the appointed one, omnipotent Jesus, Yahshua Temu's Horus, we'll begin to see life on how it truly is supposed to be. But it's going to be a calling on our part to spread the love. And let people come forth and tell their truth. Because you can learn from their truth. You can learn from their experiences. There's no fear when you begin to start moving in love. You know, pure love casts out all fears, right? So, that's what's needed, family. We have to begin to start moving in love. And that's specifically just choosing to learn to care again. One to another. We are all one family. Regardless of what has transpired within our mysteries, right? We are still all one. If more people begin to move in that divine love that the Most High has inside of us, and we can begin to open that up, we begin to move in the Most High's ways, like, you know, the appointed one, omnipotent Jesus, Yahshua Temu's Horus, told us to do in the first place, by having the ancient texts, getting the true stories and knowing the truth of it all, being well studied, showing yourself approved, living it, being true to who you are, standing in it no matter what. Oh yeah, you will receive the help that you need, and all the things that you need will come to you. Beautiful things will begin to happen when you get in alignment, notice, and all the help and all the love and all the support will begin to be seen. And I'm not speaking on people, right? I'm speaking on our descendants, ancient ones, you know, will begin to get the help they need. Because the Most High hears us crying out. The Most High knows. But it's up to us first to first help ourselves. And if more people begin to do that, no, ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. Let's go. Alright now. I love y'all all more than you will ever know. Continue to spread that love, family, no matter what. We out here. On that note, I want y'all all to know that you are loved again beyond this world. Begin to spread that love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release. I'm Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi here out. Peace, shalom, pursuit, divine love, family, and what? And it's all so much love.